Antoine Griezmann was one of the most complete attackers in world football. At Atlético Madrid, he was unstoppable. A World Cup winner, a Champions League finalist, a player who terrorized defenses across Europe. Then he moved to Barcelona for 120 million euros, and everything fell apart. His prime years, the time when he should have been at his absolute peak, was spent struggling to fit in, playing out of position, and watching his confidence drain away. This is the story of how Barcelona ruined Antoine Griezmann's prime. Let's go back to when Griezmann was actually thriving. At Atlético Madrid, from 2014 to 2019, he was the complete package. He wasn't just a goal scorer. He was a creator, a runner, a player who worked defensively and carried the team in attack. Under Diego Simeone, he found his perfect role. He had the freedom to drift between the lines, link up play, and finish chances. And he delivered consistently. In the 2015-16 season, he scored 32 goals in all competitions and led Atletico to the Champions League final. He won the Golden Boot at Euro 2016, dragging France to the final almost by himself. Then came the 2018 World Cup. Griezmann was brilliant throughout the tournament, scoring crucial goals and creating chances. France lifted the trophy, and he was one of the standout players. Back at Atletico, he kept producing. Season after season, 20+ goals, assists, big performances in big games. He was their talisman. The team was built around him, and he thrived in that system. Simeone trusted him completely. The fans adored him. By 2019, at 28 years old, Griezmann was entering what should have been the absolute peak of his career. And that's when Barcelona came calling. Barcelona had just lost the Champions League semi-final to Liverpool in humiliating fashion. They needed reinforcements, and they wanted Griezmann. They triggered his 120 million euro release clause in July 2019. And suddenly, he was a Barcelona player. On paper, it looked perfect. Griezmann joining forces with Messi and Suarez. A world-class attack that should dominate Europe. But the reality was completely different. From day one, it was clear this wasn't going to work. Barcelona's system didn't suit him. At Atletico, he had the freedom to roam, to press, to be involved in every phase of play. At Barcelona, he was stuck on the left wing, isolated from the game. Messi occupied the central areas where Griezmann was most effective. Suarez was the number 9. There was no space for Griezmann to do what he did best. The tactical fit was terrible. Barcelona played a possession-based style where players stayed in their zones. Griezmann's game was about movement, about finding pockets of space between the lines. He couldn't do that when he was stuck wide left, watching Messi orchestrate everything from the middle. It was like buying a sports car and then only driving it in first gear. And then there was the pressure. The transfer saga had been messy. Griezmann had rejected Barcelona a year earlier with that cringeworthy documentary. Now he was there, wearing the number 17 because Messi had number 10, trying to justify a 120 million euro price tag. The expectations were enormous, but the system set him up to fail. The numbers tell the story. In his first season, Griezmann scored 15 goals in all competitions. That's not terrible, but for a player of his caliber and price tag, it wasn't enough. More importantly, he looked lost on the pitch. He wasn't influencing games. He wasn't the decisive player he had been at Atletico. He was just another piece in a dysfunctional team. The criticism started immediately. Spanish media questioned whether he was worth the money. Fans grew frustrated watching him struggle to make an impact. There were reports of tension in the dressing room, suggestions that he didn't fit in with the team's hierarchy. Every match felt like he was trying to prove himself, but the harder he tried, the worse it got. I remember watching him in the Champions League quarter-final against Bayern Munich in 2020. Barcelona lost 8-2. Griezmann wasn't even the main problem that night, but it summed up his time there. He was part of a team that had completely lost its identity. He worked hard, he ran, he tried to do the right things, but nothing came off. It was painful to watch. His second season wasn't much better. New coach Ronald Koeman came in, and still, Griezmann couldn't find his role. Here's the thing. This wasn't entirely Griezmann's fault. Barcelona's management during this period was a disaster. They had no clear plan. They were signing big-name players without thinking about how they'd fit together. Griezmann, Coutinho, Dembele, all these expensive attackers brought in without any tactical coherence.